The billionaire's laughter cut through the silent room like a blade. "Languages," he scoffed. "You expect us to believe you?" The little girl straightened her back, her eyes burning with pride. "I can speak 9 languages," she said softly. And in that instant, everyone watching knew something extraordinary was about to unfold. The room had been thick with doubt, the kind that presses down like an invisible weight. The billionaire leaned back in his chair, eyes narrowed, lips curling into a smirk that dismissed her existence before she had even finished her sentence. Around the long glass table, assistants shifted uncomfortably, their silence heavy. Nobody moved to defend her. The little girl, dark-skinned and small in her simple dress, stood straight. She had come for an interview, though not for herself, but for the chance to show she was worthy of a scholarship the billionaire claimed was reserved only for the best. He had not expected her to look like this. He had not expected her to sound like this. "I can speak 9 languages," she had said proudly. The words hung in the air, almost too impossible to believe. The billionaire's laughter burst out, harsh and cutting, echoing through the polished office walls. His laugh was not amusement, it was dismissal. But she did not lower her eyes. Beneath her calm exterior was a story too deep for him to imagine. Her mother had worked night shifts, stitching clothes under dim lamps to pay for books. Her father had left when she was barely 5, leaving silence where comfort should have been. Yet she had turned silence into fuel. Every night she studied, not 1 language, not 2, but 9. She listened to old radios, borrowed library books no one else touched, and repeated words until they became second nature. She remembered nights when her stomach ached from hunger, yet she whispered French phrases into the darkness. She remembered when her classmates mocked her accent, and instead of crying, she learned Italian that same week, proving to herself that every insult could be turned into power. Now, standing in that room, she carried all those nights within her. The billionaire tapped his fingers on the table, glancing at his assistants as if to say, "Watch this child embarrass herself." His voice dripped with arrogance. 9 languages? Then prove it, or admit you're just wasting our time." The assistants leaned forward, their pens still, their eyes hungry for a show. The girl took a breath. She started in English, calm and clear, then she slipped into French, her words smooth like water. Without pause, she flowed into Spanish, the syllables rolling confidently from her tongue. Gasps whispered around the room. She continued, German, Italian, Arabic, Mandarin, Japanese, and finally Swahili. Each word carried precision, confidence, and dignity. Silence followed. No one laughed now. The billionaire's smirk faltered, his hand frozen mid-tap. His empire was built on dismissing those he deemed beneath him, but this child had just torn down the wall of prejudice with nothing but her voice. One of the assistants whispered, barely audible, 9 languages, as if repeating it would make it real. The girl lifted her chin slightly. Respect, she said quietly, is also a language, one everyone should know. Her words cut deeper than any display of knowledge. For the first time, the billionaire had no reply. His arrogance dissolved into silence, the kind that forces reflection. And in that silence, she stood unshaken. Proof that dignity doesn't need wealth, and brilliance doesn't bow to disbelief. The assistants exchanged looks, their faces flushed with a new respect. One by one, they straightened in their seats, almost instinctively, as if rising to honor something far greater than money. The billionaire's voice finally returned, but it carried no mockery now. It was softer, almost reluctant. Perhaps we underestimated you. She did not gloat. She only replied with words that would stay in every heart that heard them. Never underestimate the quiet strength of those you choose to ignore. And with that, the power in the room shifted forever. Stories like this remind us that dignity cannot be bought, brilliance cannot be silenced, and respect should never depend on appearance. Sometimes, the most underestimated voices carry the deepest power. Wherever you are watching from, share your thoughts below. Do you believe true respect is the greatest language of all? Subscribe for more stories that honor silent strength and unseen heroes.